Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 78-year-old male. Now, first thing I suggest is you go directly to our website, and we have these free quoters on just about every page. And all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. And we're licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount you're looking for, and then put your birthday and the rest of the info in. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that are going to have the lowest pricing based off your age and gender. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can actually do all of that for you and make it super easy for you. Now, one thing we always recommend for a 78-year-old male looking for $10,000 worth of insurance is really just determine if that's going to be enough to cover your final expenses. And typically that final expenses would be either cremation or burial. Let's start with cremation. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box for an urn. And if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony or celebration of life or family get-together, something like remembrance ceremony, something like that, then in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to run between $3,500 to $4,500. So as far as what kind of coverage you would need, well, typically for that cremation where you're just going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, that would be, we'd probably recommend around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. And you might be saying, well, Randy, if the cremation is $2,000, why are we looking at $5,000? Well, the thing is, hopefully our 78-year-old will make it to age 88, right? And we know that the, prices go up over time. That's called inflation. And we just want to make sure that there's enough money there and that we're qualifying at the youngest age. So typically what we would do is just get you a little bit extra insurance to make sure that inflation doesn't kind of eat away at this and your family still has the money to pay for this. But also, one of the nice things is if, God forbid, you did die a little sooner than you thought, there's also a little bit of extra money there to provide for your family to maybe finish off some of your other final expenses, like maybe credit card debt or medical bills or something like that. So it works really terrific, actually, where you've got a little more to inflation-proof the plan on the back end, but you got a little more on the front end just to make sure if there's some other expenses that pop up, the family doesn't have to take care of those. Now, as far as that cremation and the ceremony, we would typically recommend $7,000 to $10,000 on average. It's different, but that's pretty close. And again, that inflation proofs the plan, but provides a little bit extra money up front, just in case you died sooner than you thought. Now, a burial, the average burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. And so if you've got a check for $10,000 and you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States, they should work with you to get that done. It's hard to imagine that they would say no and let you walk out the door and take that $10,000 check down the road to one of their competitors. But just understand, at $10,000, it's not going to be a fancy funeral. It's going to be very simple, and it's not inflation-proofed. So what most people age 78 would do, these guys would do, is get probably between $10,000 to $15,000. So if money's a little tight, just get the $10,000 for right now. That takes care of the most immediate needs. We can always help you add more coverage later. But if you're in a little bit better financial situation, $15,000 would certainly inflation-proof that plan much better. Now, some people might look at $20,000, and we could look at that depending on your situation and everything. But we just very cautious recommending people, to overinsure, which we don't, because sometimes we'll get somebody that will come in and say, hey, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and leave some money behind for my kids or family. And the challenge is you're age 78, you're already older. So getting that much insurance can kind of be expensive. And then sometimes somebody will say, well, if I can't do the whole $50,000, I'm not doing anything at all. And it's like, it's so unfair to the family because you're the one that waited until you got to 78 to shop for this. You could have gotten this much earlier in life and taken care of it. And now just because you procrastinated, you're going to make your family suffer and pay for this by not getting any insurance. So yeah, just kind of put your pride away, and just what we typically recommend is just getting, what you can afford, get something for your family. Because if you don't, they're going to have to pay for it. And chances are they're going to have to put it on a credit card and be paying 26% interest. And they're going to be stuck paying this for years and years and years. And that's just, that's not a great legacy for, for you to leave behind for sure. So one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. We never recommend getting a 2-year waiting period plan if you qualify for first day coverage. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, first day coverage means hypothetically, if your policy were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow as a 78-year-old male, the insurance company would have to pay out. They'd have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, whatever it is. But yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want that first day coverage. Now, some people would say, hey, Randy, I do like that first day coverage, but I've got some health issues and I'm actually a little worried that I won't qualify. And we always tell them, hey, that's our responsibility, not yours, at least from an insurance standpoint. So we tell them that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because every insurance company has different health questions, and every insurance company has different underwriting. So our goal is always to get you first day coverage. Really, the only reason somebody wouldn't qualify or get approved is if they'd waited too long and they had some really significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically refer you out to a different company. The other thing that always seems like on a weekly basis anyway, seems to happen, is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And their body's down at the funeral home. And now the funeral home director is not going to do anything about this till he gets a check in his hand to pay for it. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get the funeral home director paid. We have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on somebody who's already dead. You can't get this insurance after somebody's died. So it's really sad that this person passed away and that they didn't have this taken care of. They knew they were going to die someday. They'd probably thought about getting this insurance at some point in the past. They didn't do anything about it. And then they just went and died. And now their family has to deal with this. And they're probably going to have to put this on credit cards again and pay off 26% interest for years and years and years. So yeah, don't leave that legacy behind. You could have done everything right in life, and then you mess up this one last thing, and that's how you'll be remembered forever. So yeah, just don't put your family in that situation. If money's a little tight, we can help you by getting a little smaller insurance, and then we can always add more coverage. But there's no excuse to not do this, and there's no excuse to leave a bad legacy behind. Now, one thing we never recommend, as I mentioned, was 2-year waiting period plans. So Colonial Penn is one of those companies. They've got their $9.95 plan. If you didn't know that, that's a 2-year waiting period plan. Yeah, and we don't recommend those at all. Now, they're not the only one out there that sells those. Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, just a host of other different companies out there. The only thing they offer is those 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that the only thing they'll qualify for if they're over age 80 is a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 78-year-old male probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn 995 commercials. He's probably thinking, I outsmarted the insurance company. I finally did something right in my life, and I outsmarted Colonial Penn. I waited to get this insurance until I was age 78, and now they're offering it at $9.95, and I figure I can probably get that for, $9.95. I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then he calls Colonial Penn, talks with an agent, or looks them up on their website like we've done for you here, and sees that a 78-year-old male for 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $468. So that is not even enough for a cremation. Oh my gosh, that's woefully inadequate. And it wouldn't really matter anyway, because it's got a 2-year waiting period. Yeah, and it's not going to be worth as much in 2 years. So why would you ever consider a plan just because it's $9.95 that's not going to come close to covering your needs and only pay out $468? Some people would say that companies that advertise these teaser rates, tease you to get you to call in, that they do that not because they want to sell you that plan. It's because they just want to get you on the phone and then upsell you to more expensive coverage that's more profitable for them. Now, we would never say anything like that about Colonial Penn, but some people I've heard them say that, and I guess we will just let you develop your own thoughts on that after seeing that $995 is only going to pay out $468. So trying to get $10,000 for a 78-year-old male is going to be difficult because Colonial Penn only goes up to 15 units with this plan. So let's see what that would be. Yeah, you can't even get $10,000 for a 78-year-old male. You max out at $7,020. And that's going to be $150 roughly. Just round that up, $149.25, $150. So let's go take a look at what $10,000 would be in first day coverage. So we've got $10,000 right here, male, age 78, get quote. And again, $7,000 is $150 here. And if we look here, we've got our $10,000, male, age 78. So here we go. Right around $120, just kind of average it out. So, Colonial Penn is $7,000 for $150, and we can get first day coverage $10,000 for right around $120. So what would you rather do? Get a plan that's $30 more a month you're going to have to overpay on for the rest of your life and that has a 2-year waiting period? Or would you rather just get lower pricing and get that first day coverage? Because that's what this level means. Level means first day coverage. So if you think about that, if you're overpaying $30 a month, and that's times 12 months, that's $360. If our 78-year-old male lives at 88, 10 years, he will end up overpaying right around $3,600 more just after 10 years with Colonial Penn. So why would you ever do that? Why would you ever do that? You need to be a smart consumer. And if you're not a smart consumer, that's okay. Let us help you be a smart consumer. We love getting people the best rates. Let's look at some other companies here. Fine. So you'll be able to check out all these different companies here. So let's see. Yeah, so this company here, like Lumico, it's level coverage, but they're like $15 more a month. Take that $15 a month times 12 months, that's an extra $180 a year. If our 78-year-old male lives another 10 years, up to age 88, you have overpaid $1,800 roughly. Why would you ever just willingly give away $1,800 of your own money to an insurance company so they can put it in their bank account? We'd rather see you have that money in your own bank account. And we can help you get those lower rates. Let's take a look at some. Here's another one, Lincoln Heritage. Fine company, I guess, but look at that rate, $160 basically. Level coverage, first day coverage, but yes. So they're like $40 more a month. And, they've got a deal. The reason they're so much more expensive is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they was supposedly called 2 or 3 different funeral homes to make sure you get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but it's not free. They charge you for that. It's in your premiums. And if you look at that, this Lincoln Heritage of basically $160 is right around $40 more than these ones here. So $40 a month times 12 months is $480. If you live another 10 years until our male is 88, he would have overpaid right around $4,800 roughly on a $10,000 policy. So think about this. If you just let us help you get one of these lower prices, it's you can keep that $4,800 give or take in your own bank account rather than giving that to an insurance company. We think that's better off in your bank account rather than the insurance company's bank account. So what we also do is we recommend you get the lower rate. We can help you out with that. And then we provide free of charge a funeral and estate planning guide. And you can download that off our website and then print it out. And then once it's printed out, just complete it, fill it out, write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want to happen after you pass away. And then keep it with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family will know that you loved them dearly and that you not only protected them in life, but you protected them in death because they've got the insurance money to pay for it. And they've got the funeral and estate planning guide to tell them exactly what to do so they don't have to guess and they can honor your wishes. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind them knowing that you not only love them in life, but you actually loved and protected them in death too, which is actually when they're going to need you the most. So what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. And we can help you with that legacy. So we've got a free quoter specifically for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can get the lowest pricing, most discounts there. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can do, our licensed agents can do all that work for you, or just even answer any questions. But if you've got an existing policy that you're wanting to see if we can price shop and save you money, or you just want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy or just have some questions about what might be most appropriate for you, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day we can help you get approved for the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.